All right, I finished it and we are gonna talk about it. Let's do this. First off, I read Mistborn Era 1 first, and then I came into this book here, Elantris, because I saw a bunch of other people's reading orders, and they said that this one should be next. So I did not know what to expect. I did know going into this that this was Brandon Sanderson's first published book. So knowing that, obviously, as far as like the technical side of it, I had assumed that Mistborn would be technically better just because, you learn. You get better the more you do it. So I went in with no expectations other than it's supposed to be very good and it's different from Mistborn. And it was different from Mistborn. I'm going to be completely honest. It did drag a little bit for me. It did in the middle here. I think the reason was because the stakes weren't quite as high, whereas like, and I'm trying not to compare it, but I'm just so obsessed with Mistborn right now. And like from the very beginning, Mistborn, stakes are life and death. It is terrifying. Then just going to a meeting, it's like, yeah, she's going to a meeting, but if it goes south, Kame is going to beat the shit out of her. Like there's so much going on, the Lord Ruler, whereas the stakes weren't as obvious for the beginning. Like the political intrigue is happening, but at no point was I like, okay, yeah, like we need to get this going. Like political intrigue was one of my favorite parts of the Well of Ascension because they're vying for power and like there's an army coming and like shit is bad. We need to figure this out. So it did drag a little bit in the middle for me here. But that's okay because it picked up and the Sanderlanche is a real thing. It just bam, bam, bam. Once it got going, it got going. The characters. I liked Serene a lot. I thought she was very cool. I liked Raoden as well. Hrathen's arc is probably the coolest. This guy who like gets introduced as this kind of hard-assed sort of, for lack of a better word, bad guy. But then at the moment of truth, when it's like, are you actually the bad guy? And he wasn't, and he did make the right choice at the end. I thought was very cool. That's a trope that I think is kind of fun when the bad guy turns good at the last minute and dies. Sacrifices himself for the greater good. Outside of his faith, I thought was very cool. Delof, being the real bad guy and like literally a monster, I thought that was very cool. Overall, I did enjoy it. I'm excited to read Hope of Elantris after this. I did not like it as much as Era 1, but, there were less characters, there was less going on, and, again, maybe this is the only bad thing about going from book to book to book to book, like the way that I'm doing it, is it's hard to come off of one thing and then move on to another and not have that other thing in the back of your mind. So, like, Raoden is cool, but he's not Elend. You know what I mean? And, like, Elend is such a great character. Like, Raoden was cool. Also, the door stuff and the Aendor stuff and, like, the letters and shit went way over my head. So much of that I was like, okay, yeah, it's a letter, and we're writing out the letter, but then you draw it, and the magic, like, so much of that I was like, I had to really focus. There were a lot of names and a lot of places that I feel like my brain just refused to accept. I was like, is this important information? Which now, having dipped my toes in the pool of Brandon Sanderson, I feel like everything is important, so I'm like really trying hard. But I don't know. I mean, the people that Serene was training to fight, I'm like, yeah, like they come in handy, at the end. I thought that was a really cool moment. But I don't know. I didn't find myself connecting with these characters as much as I did the Mistborn characters. But I did enjoy this book. I like the magic of it. I like the different peoples. I like that there were gods but not gods. I like that it wasn't simple, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I thought it was a really cool ride. It was funnier than I expected. That was something that I did not foresee, was just how funny it is and how funny it would be. And just the miscommunication of everything going on cracked me up. My favorite character is probably Kian. That reveal at the end where, her uncle's just this bombastic dude that likes to cook and loves his family and travels the world. And honestly, he's a lot like my dad. So that was pretty cool. And then at the end, you find out that the throne was his, and he was a pirate at some point, and then he gave it up. And that's cool. I like Kian a lot. Overall, it was like Kian And then probably Galadon. I thought Galadon was very cool. Yeah. It was good. It was good. Overall, it was good. I'm excited to see what Hope of Elantris is, because that's what's next. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna knock that out tonight, and then I'll make a review video of that as well. But yeah, Hrathen was probably the most interesting character in the book. But everyone kind of brought their own thing, which I thought was cool. I love the idea that it never really explained, unless I missed it, it never really explained, like, what was the cause of the fall of the Elantrians, and why Raoden specifically was able to, like, repower the letters. Unless I missed it. If I missed it, please let me know. But basically, am I wrong in thinking that Raoden was able to figure it out because he knew how to read and write, and that's all it took? Maybe, because he had hope, and then he kept practicing his letters, and then eventually, like, just like a car that needs to start and has a clutch in it, you just, like, push it down the road and eventually it picks up steam. I don't know what that was about. But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was cool. I enjoyed the book. I enjoyed the story. I like the idea that it was, like, a battle of religions and faiths as well as politics, and the idea that it was just about converting them as opposed to, like, the true faith, and Hrathen playing the game and constantly getting outsmarted, or outplayed, I guess. And Serene, the same thing happens. And pretty much everyone is like, oh, this is what's going to happen. And they don't see this other person coming around and doing their thing. Yeah. But so far, I'm very happy with my order. I'm excited to see what Hope of Elantris is about. After Hope of Elantris, I'm doing The Emperor's Soul, and then White Sand, and then Era 2. And I am so excited for Era 2. So excited. It's going to be great. But yes, Elantris, done. On to the Hope of Elantris.